I'm scrolling through the things. I was looking at the phone. But it's still sort of on the what is it? It just smooths up the bags up on
Oh,
Ooh, live.
yeah.
There.
Mm, yeah.
I've been delivered. Some of those things.
What's up, Terica? Peace. How you doing, sister?
Peace, peace, peace. Terica, do you be on IG? Peace, sis. Do you be on IG or you on YouTube more often?
Grassroots Mamita. Peace.
Peace to you.
Queen I rise. What's happening? Peace to you. Pure Soul Group. What you say? You looking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because just wondering, just trying to get an idea how many people be on there, how many people don't. Okay. How y'all
Yeah.
doing? What's been going on your parts of the world? Because it's a lot going on. It is a lot going on. I tapped
What's
into
happening? The King's Corner podcast.
peace
Peace
to
to you.
you.
T. Thomas. What's up?
Yes, you made it 2 times. You're the resurrected. So it's beautiful because actually that's what we're going through right now. We're definitely going through another resurrection. I can't wait to get into it and kind
That's
of
why this is,
break it down.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's why it's titled as it is,
yeah,
dealing with two aspects of our existence.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so peace to everybody coming in. Trying to give y'all a minute to slide in here. For those of you who don't get notifications and
Hey,
maybe so happen to
Janice.
see us today, we always typically we send out a notification through the Wix site. So if you're not a member, become a member so that we can send you a notification out when we get ready to go live. That way you won't miss us. I love that. Balanced
Yes.
vibes. Ashe.
Ashay.
That's beautiful.
Tamani Astrid.
That's beautiful tonight.
Yes.
Peace,
Feel.
Phil.
Peace.
Peace to you. Peace, Daniel. I see you. Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting week.
Definitely.
Definitely. I wanted to explain
Of the
this
new year.
absolutely. With this new galactic year, it's definitely a whole different vibe. Um, and so I think I'm going to end up just channeling some information. I got some stuff wrote down that kind of breaks down the metaphysics of the whole two earth thing, but I kind of want to meet you and touch you where you are. That's why I was like, "Hi, everybody
Oh,
doing where
Sheila.
you are?
Love.
Peace to you." So tonight, that's what we will be discussing. Sometimes the shows we know exactly what we're going to talk about way before we do. This
Mm,
wasn't one of those days. It was kind of one of those days where,
freestyle. What you got?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just a freestyle. What I felt from the collective, what you all may be
Empress Goddess
able to
Nami.
benefit from
Love to
us.
you.
Peace to
Yeah.
you. Peace to you, Mimi.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's crazy that those don't reflect the numbers.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
But yeah, we are here. I am Ernest,
And I'm Camson Oracle,
and y'all know we are Remnants
Women's
Gathering.
Gathering.
Yes.
We also use World Gang Gang. Because most people in our circle of influence think that the stuff that we do is strange. And that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Feels good to be with
Yeah, it does. The more time go by, the more I don't want to be like other people,
you.
you know. So
That's
like, let's get into the conversation.
Before we get started,
Mhm.
today, y'all,
Oh
as
yeah.
far as our galactic time, it is a white solar dog.
Yes.
White solar dog. Um, and the other significant thing about today is that it is a Rainbow Bridge Day.
That's powerful.
Yes, that which
That's
occurs.
why I smell fruit. It's the tea.
Mm,
I got
yeah,
such a funny story one day I'm gonna get to share with y'all, but not right
yeah.
now.
It's a Rainbow Bridge. It's a Rainbow Bridge activation day, and basically, um, it's just a day that we been guided to take a moment and visualize a rainbow around the earth, and then energize that vision in our hearts. And so, you on with us, y'all. Everybody, this. Thank you, Tenny Smith.
Peace to you. Tenny,
Peace,
you in
peace, and thank
Europe,
you.
huh?
Yes.
Ashe, all the way in Europe.
May they return back to you.
30, 60, 100 fold
Indeed.
abundance.
Yes. But yeah. So we, as we're doing this show, y'all, as we all are on here, just keep that in mind that this is a day that we activate. It's all dealing with our heart chakras. Today is definitely a heart chakra day, uh, and it just so happened that what we're going to be talking about, um, definitely is heart centered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So one of the things that um with this day in mind, it kind of lines up perfectly because I didn't check it. But the positive um frequency that Rainbow Bridge Day is carried, because actually
Peace,
when we
faith.
did the Zoom meeting for the Galactic New Year celebration, we did a Rainbow Bridge meditation together. And so this is basically, if you just visualize your chakras, this is how I like to do it. You just visualize, and you can do it while you're doing other things. But if you just visualize your chakras basically getting brighter, and you can do that now. And I recommend to start just doing this and not even having to close your eyes and do it, but just working on strengthening your ability to just see things with your mind's eye. That's so, 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 so important.
Visualization.
Okay.
Yes.
That's so important because perception is being manipulated with so many different frequencies now. It's hard to stay on the narrative of your own creation. And you will find yourself perceiving things from an old you, old earth, 3D negative perspective. So, with that being said, to keep control of your narrative, just awaken all of your chakras. Everybody's chakras don't move the same. I don't believe in telling people how and which direction is right, whatever feels right for you, and it could change from day to day. Um, so however your chakras for you spin, just remember that these colors project out of the front of us and out of the back of us. So when we connect with each other, even in the digital world, if you would just visualize your higher self who is existing in the cosmos looking down at you, you will see these rainbows of colors around you. And when we all come together, we're all on different parts of the earth. When we come together, our higher selves see, okay, they're matching vibration. They're matching a certain frequency of consciousness together as a group. And so when that happens, this allows us to be able to break through um, some of the density and some of the resistance that this battle between the two earths is creating. So that's something really simple that you could do. Like I said, I do it sometimes at least once a day. I just visualize all my chakras lighting up and my higher self witnessing me down here, like paying attention to what matters and paying attention to whether or not I'm being heart led in my conversation, in the way I react to myself, in the way I'm reacting to others, in the way I feel about myself, just anchoring myself in my heart. And so that is basically what this Rainbow Bridge conversation really is about. It's us coming together as one, holding and anchoring energy where love, compassion, mercy, and grace, no judgment, no separation. You know, when we do this, we're changing the morphogenic structure around us. So this is the energy that is around us all the time. And so we're having to witness our thoughts more often because we're being called now to be accountable for the shit we think,
Mhm.
the shit we say, how we say it. You can't even get away with saying the right shit no more. Now the new earth is like, no, it wasn't what you said, it was how you said it. And I catch him all the time and be like, it wasn't what you said, it was how you said it.
My energy.
And I'm like, it's your energy. Your energy, okay, you can say, I love you, but your energy could be saying, I can't stand your ass. And I'm going to pick up on your energy and not your words. So, this is just some of the manifestations of how these two dimensions
Mhm.
are entangled. And so, you know, for today,
Not to mention all of the traumas and different things like
exactly.
that are coming up and causing us to have to either address it, embrace it, realize it,
Hmm.
or we're gonna still be in a state of stagnancy and not evolving, not growing. So
Yeah. And that stagnancy happens to everybody is really part of the process. So with this battle between two earths, there's always this battle going on for your attention. Are y'all starting to witness this more and more too? So it's just like even if it's not external, it could be just sensations in your body and it's battling for your attention. Like for me, like I had a toothache. It was just like I was trying to focus on what I was doing, but that toothache definitely was battling with me for my attention. So it's just the simple things like that, just tuning in. We are basically antennas. And so this morphogenic blueprint of energy that we all carry and hold, basically what it does is it interacts with your environment, and this is what dictates whether or not you are having more new earth, higher dimension 5D consciousness experiences, or that dense, low earth, negative, lower vibrational experiences. So this is why two people can be in the same neighborhood, even in the same room, the same house, and are having a totally separate experience. So there are these, when shamans would visualize it, they would see it as these eggs. And these eggs are basically like these bubbles around us. And so this is from your thoughts and from your heart, right? Especially when that's not aligned. What happens is the morphogenic field becomes more negatively attuned, so you're going to attract more negative stuff. So I'm gonna give you a perfect example of another way the new earth and old earth is showing itself to you, and the new earth and the new you and the old you is battling for your attention and for like what kind of lifestyle are you creating? What are you gonna do today? Like everything matters.
yes, have to be
So
intentional. I was reading something that said to, today is definitely a day of marking your intentions
mhm,
and sticking with it.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, your narrative just will go with the chaos that's going on in the rest of the world.
yeah.
So here's a perfect example. Perfect example. So I go to the grocery store. Now I don't do anything on a schedule. Not much of anything. Most of my life is just what feels right. What I need to do now. What feels, this is just how I move. So because I'm anchoring myself in my heart, I'm observing myself, I'm practicing being patient and compassionate with myself. I'm doing the soul work. I'm addressing the traumas. I'm paying attention to my triggers. I'm searching for solutions. I'm open for the solutions that I don't even know where to start searching for just to come to me. I'm trusting my process. I'm trusting my spirit guides. I'm trusting my ancestors. I'm breathing deep. I'm breathing from my belly so that I will stimulate my rest and digest, my parasympathetic nervous system, so that I'm not in fight or flight. Because if I'm in fight or flight survival mode, which most of us were the whole time we were in the 3D dimension, because we were surviving. Now we're coming out of that and we're being retrained to learn that we are the attractor of everything in our reality. We are that point of attraction. And that if you can find ways to rest, to relax, to trust the process, to listen to your intuition, then what happens is your morphogenic field begins to attract experiences that's in alignment with the work that you're doing by all of the things that I listed. So I go to the grocery store and I get in line number 4 or 7, like them some of my favorite numbers for certain reasons. So that's the line that I choose. Somebody else decides to come to the grocery store exact same time I did. They finish the exact same time that I do, but completely below the veil of consciousness. Maybe they're arguing with somebody on the phone or upset about something or aggravated by the fact that the store didn't have what they was looking for. Whatever it is, the line that they choose to check out of, this is what's happening every day. This is like one of the most um, explanatory allegories there is. So she walks up because her morphogenic field is holding a negative blueprint of lower vibrations and that dense energy. She's probably going to get in a line with the person who is going to have an attitude, who may do some shit like not want to touch their hand, and it may be offensive. They could get called a nigga or hunky below their breath and you heard it, you know what I'm saying? You gonna look crazy if you react. Like it's so many various ways that this can unfold. We both leave the grocery store. She's enraged, pissed for whatever happened, and I leave the grocery store really, really like super blissed out because I just had the most awakening conversation with a cashier and we was just on the same frequency. Our wavelength was just mirroring each other. So this is what the two earths, this is what the two parts of you. It's more parts, but I'm just starting with that two, which is the lower self and the ego and the higher self, right? So these are these two parts of you. So for most of us, our ego is what was managing our experience on the 3D earth. Now we've been working on ourselves and healing, right? And we feel these activations and these DNA upgrades come in, and you feel that you're changing. Your perception is proving that to you, right? And so now what's happening is your experiences are aligning to you because now you are making sure that your heart and your mind is in alignment. This is the whole explanation of two earths in a simplified way. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. Our experience is definitely um is a reflection of where we are. You know what I'm saying? And like she said, that you couldn't have gave that allegory that example any better. Um, we I know I experience that all the time. But the key I've learned is to not allow anything outside of me to affect what I'm feeling
Easier
and
said
how
than
I'm
done.
feeling. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a
Yep.
challenge. Yeah,
Easier said
yeah.
than done.
Because um everybody don't know how to shift in and out of a funk, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so something can happen, and like she said, you can go and you can be on a higher vibration. But guess what? If somebody just was dealing with something negative, if they hadn't shook that off, which a lot of times is easier said than done. So if they hadn't shook that off, then now you got to interact with that person, and you got to realize, oh, okay. You already sense it. You already feel their energy. You can see it, and then you have to say, okay, how do I remain holding my vibration without being affected by that energy?
And that
Because
brings me
it's
to
so
the
deep.
next point,
Yeah.
right? So basically, we have two universes, two people, but the expression of two microcosms of the macrocosm, right? So you have all of your ancestors, all of the great things about them, and the negative. All of this is in your morphogenic field. So when you have an interaction with somebody that's having more of a 3D dense negative experience, this is when in that moment, like you can't waste time. Like in that moment, as soon as it hits you, you got to decide how you're going to respond. Because if you
Peace,
just
Ali.
follow the energy, peace, Ali.
Yes.
If you follow that energy, New Dawn, and somebody I coming in here, Melanese, what ends up happening is your higher vibration, right, gets drained by the lower vibration, and then you, if you don't catch yourself, you're right there matching their energy.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have shifted from being a thermostat to a thermometer, and it's frustrating because when you finally catch yourself, when you finally figure out that that's what just happened, then the ego now gets triggered because it has to help you survive. It feels unsafe. You didn't have these newer ways of approaching issues with the level of emotional maturity that you have now. So the ego, which is probably based on your 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year old self, is going to be like, they fucked up your vibration. So now you irritated with them or whatever happened, and now you're feeling some kind of way about it and feeling like I was doing good until you came along.
Right. Yeah.
And this could even be in the house, with your kids and with your family. You catch yourself doing this, and the shit is contagious. It's contagious. And so, but you have to once you catch yourself, bring yourself back to see. I am in the art of helping people to improve their life experience. That is ultimately what I have felt is the main mission that I have on this planet in this incarnation. So a lot of this, I'm just channeling it to you through my higher self. So what you have to do when you catch yourself doing this, when you catch yourself behaving as you did on the 3D earth, anchor back in the heart, notice that you offended, you triggered, you upset, you're angry, you sad, like whatever it is that happened, become aware of it. Just observe it. Observe the thoughts. The thoughts is probably at this point, the shit can get really extreme if you don't catch it. You need to stay away from them. Quit talking to them. Don't you know? I mean, it didn't get to a point where
it can go from one extreme to the other.
Right. So come back, anchor back in the heart. Take a few deep breaths.
Yeah, feel different.
Let the ego know, okay, you can calm down. The ego is like the little chihuahua that you go walking with, and it's these big ass Rottweilers. And the chihuahua really thinks that it can handle the Rottweilers. That's the ego. But the Chihuahua, it ain't trying to cause no harm. It's just trying to protect you. So because you're feeling some kind of way, now the ego has been activated. It is you that have to stop and say, ego, I got this. Back when you were born, we developed coping mechanisms that was not healthy, but I got this now. This is when you give the higher self the invitation to step back into that experience. Once you do this, you will realize that you have been blame shifting and projecting that shit on other people and making other people responsible for your vibration. That right there is 3D earth type shit. This is when you lack any power, true power, because you give all your power away to any experience or person that's not in alignment with where you want to be. When you must begin to see them as the treadmill that your ass finally need to get on. This is something coming into my reality to strengthen me or to test me or to show me where I'm really at.
That's right.
Because I thought I was beyond. I've been talking a lot of shit. I've been commenting on videos, and yeah, this what you should be doing. And you had a moments where you be on your shit. You be awakened. You be doing pretty good. You having a good ride.
That's right. Good right.
Then some shit happen and knock your
Turbulence.
ass back down to 3D Earth.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that turbulence come and shake all that shit up, and you be like, damn, fuck, you know. Yeah, you can't do nothing but shake it off. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking
The
about.
sooner you shake
Energetically,
it off, the
you
better.
just have to shake it off.
Yeah.
I seen, yeah, Phil, there are exercises to do. Um, what's one of the ones we be laughing at when you get to shaking? We
Oh
just,
yeah,
yeah,
the trauma shaking.
yeah, it's all, you know.
Especially if you shake your ass. I promise y'all. I be doing it, and my daughter sometimes she think it's the funniest thing in the world. But
Yeah,
like really, for real, like your ass, your perineum, your rectum, all of this
she ain't
is
talking about
at the
twerking,
this is all at the base of your spine. It don't matter how you move it.
but I'm just
Just
saying,
long as that part of your body is moving.
yeah,
Because energy has to move. And
that's right.
sometimes you literally physically need to shake that shit off. So I'm going to explain to you why I say that
Shake your ass.
the ass and the shoulders,
Shake,
especially your ass and
shake
your
that ass,
shoulders.
shake that ass. All right.
It is very, look, it was something very spiritual trying to come through and communicate with us through a lot of the culture. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our melanated culture.
That's true.
But when you look at even African tribes and when you look back at the ancients, they all had these ceremonies where they would just allow their body to move the way it needed to so that that energy could move. They was in wars. They was living without electricity outside, babies getting bit by poisonous
Got to.
spiders, snakes. I mean, they had to be able to shake that shit off.
That's right.
You didn't have the time to sit there and be messed up
I
about
love that.
something.
Yeah.
So what I have found when I go get my energy healing, when I go get my acupuncture, when I go get reflexology, typically pay attention to your body. Typically, my shoulders and my neck will communicate to me. Okay, it's a lot of energy trapped, and it manifests as soreness, tense muscles, and knots. Right? Sometimes you just feel like a
Tight.
crook in your neck, and you don't even know why. It's energy that you need to
That's
move.
right. Yes.
So what happens is just pay attention to the areas for you because it could be different. So that area, now let me explain why I said ass for a couple reasons. Our ass, this is the biggest muscle in the human body. Let's start there. And so that means that there's a lot of nerves, and so a lot of energy is being held there. There's a lot of blood flow that has to circulate through your ass. Then you have your perineum. As I once stated, this is a gateway. This is the anus is a gateway, right, into the mind, which is the gut, right? So the when you look at things like I hope y'all ain't got no kids in here because I'm gonna say it. Okay, so if you got kids watching, escort them out for just a moment. You can bring them back in. It's up to you, but I'm gonna say something that's sexual. Okay, and I'm gonna give you a moment to do that. But the perineum and the rectum, because it sits at the base of the spine, okay, because it is basically sitting and holding the energy of the sacrum, right? So this is your hips, this is your sacral, creativity, root chakra, which is where all of our trauma is stored, especially from the womb to age 7, that blueprint, which this is another one of the energies that projects through the chakras to create your morphogenic field. So that energy sits there. Now, in anatomy, I love science and anatomy. In anatomy, I remember in the year 2013, I noticed that the shape of the skeleton started changing in all of my anatomy books in every encyclopedia, everything that I looked up online, the bottom of our spine used to just be almost like an upside down pyramid, but it was rounded, right? In 2013, this is when I first noticed it. In 2013, the base of the spine became a scorpion tail. And I was like, hold up. Did some research. All the anatomy books on the planet seemed like it had changed to being different than what I remember. And I remember saying, this is, at the time I was a Christian, so I said, this is a manifestation of that glorified body that we were going to receive in these days of trial and tribulation, which we call the underworld according to the Mayan calendar and the solar cycle, which is, this is the sixth sun and the 25th solar cycle. So with that being said, the body is having these small changes. So it's not just the DNA upgrade, but the body is changing too. If the base of our spine needed to change to have that shape, metaphysically, when you really think about it, it is going to allow more a direct energy current versus being rounded and having that point and that scorpion curve shape. This is like evolution that happened, and most people who did not know anything about the Mandela effect didn't even notice. But if you do some research, you'll see a lot of skeletal and organ changes. Our liver got bigger. 2014, that's when I noticed the liver was much bigger. It had tripled in the size that I remember it being. Um, the liver holds and processes anger. It processes trauma and toxicity. So the reason that our liver got bigger was to help us in this evolutionary step to be able to deal with the trauma, the ancestral healing that we are here to process and relieve so that we don't pass it on, right? So back to the perineum. So not only is the skeletal system has changed, but the perineum, this is a gateway. And this is why anal sex even now is still something that's like taboo, and something that's heavily has heavy stigmas around it, has a lot of judgments around it. You know, especially with heterosexual men, it's like, no, don't mess with it, all of that. But if you just look at anatomy, right? There are these nerve endings that exist there that aren't anywhere else. And on the male body, the G spot is actually in the area of the perineum, which is right between the base of their balls and their anus. So this area has all these nerve endings. And see, the body is sacred, and everything that we do, it was supposed to be sacred, but because we got onto this timeline of things not being sacred, things that are healing become repulsive and demonic. Entities and deities that help you to shed limitations and heal become demons. Stay away from them. Spiritual practices that are very healing, we have abandoned because most of us have been colonized by the Bible, or someone who has been brainwashed by the Bible, trying to understand it from a 3D perspective. The Bible is not a 3D book, it's a multi-dimensional book that you have to read esoterically. So in an occult fashion. So, but anyway, we couldn't even process that at the time, and a lot of older people, you know, that's something that's really difficult for them. So they just stick with the stories as if those stories are real people. I mean, that's cool too. That's what it is. Everybody got to go through their own phases. But back to this part of the body. So when you have those, notice when something happens that's uncomfortable, most people tense up
So
their
you
ass.
get tight. That's why
A
they
tight
say you get a tight
ass,
ass. That's right.
literally. So, and I catch myself doing this, and I know it's not healthy, especially for my ladies who are going through healing their feminine energy and healing their womb space. Making sure that your ass is not tight is so important to allow that energy to move and flow the way it needs to. So we weren't shaking our ass for no reason. It was a reason behind it. So it's just bringing the sacredness back to it. So that's why I said, for me, what I've observed is shoulders and ass. So shaking those areas will help you to relieve that. And and then I'm gonna say this too. Even with priests, you hear these stories about priests and the popes and the RCC having all of these choir boys, and they don't they're not allowed to marry. Popes. It's very unnatural, the whole situation. But there's so much molesting that goes on with that part of a male incarnate's body. When, as our ancestors went through slavery, they would call it buck breaking. And it wasn't always beating the black man, sometimes it was raping the black man. So there is a lot of ancestral trauma stored in those areas. And personally, I'm not gonna get to my personal stuff, but I'm gonna say just this little bit because it's interesting. But when I look at certain type of things that are sexual taboos, things that people are attracted to, a lot of men like anal play, and it's just releasing the judgment from a lot of that stuff. Like if it feels good and you ain't hurt nobody, you grown, do go do your thing, pop some confetti and make the shit a party. Do your thing. Like we ain't got no judgment about that. Have your party however you like to have your party. But I really believe that a lot of the healing that needs to happen in that area. And I believe that that's why that area is abused so much in Hollywood and in religion, is because they know the metaphysics of this, and that it's the gateway. It goes straight up the spine, straight up the ladder, sends an electrical circuit up to your crown chakra. Like this is like straight shot. So there's a lot of pain in that area. And I'm gonna get more into this because really, really soon I will be doing like womb healing, sexual healing um, classes that I'm gonna be doing, because this is actually the work that I feel is going to allow us to get past this point, because a lot of us are feeling like we're starting to reach this plateau, and it's like you're just kind of stuck. Like if your vibration is 620 hertz, for example, or 542, just kind of been stuck and layering there. It's kind of like how your credit score it be just sitting at very poor levels for a while, and you get stuck. And I believe that the sexual, sensual, feeling, heart-led aspect, you bring that to whatever you're doing. A lot of healing can happen. So yeah, so I'm already putting that together and working on that. So just putting that out there if y'all interested in that information, because I believe that that's going to be the necessary step for us to get past this point that a lot of us feel like we kind of got stagnant, and you're not really having these huge breakthroughs like we were when we first awakened. So yeah, um,
Yeah, that's a.
y'all
I'm
enjoying this
silent over
conversation?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's true. Everything you're saying is true, though. Yeah. But it's, we have to get to the place, and that's a area for me that um I ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying?
That
Yeah.
the way you feel about sexual sensual matters tells a lot about you on a deeper energetic level that maybe your conscious mind is not ready to perceive. And so you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of that gives you a real measure of where you are. So I'm not saying men gotta go buy dildos and go to town. I'm just saying, shake your ass sometimes. It's not. It has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has nothing. Again, we got to
Yeah, the
bring the
shaking is
sacred back to
liberating.
everything.
Yeah, the shaking is definitely liberating, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we got to bring the sacred back to everything. What's up,
yeah.
fly chick? Dr.
Yeah.
Jewel Pookrum showed us pictures of galaxies that look exactly like the womb. Exactly. Portals as above, so below, as within, so without. Exactly. Yep, exactly. Oh, I love Dr. Jewel Pookrum.
She let us go
Yeah,
to town.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
go to town with it. I've
Mm-mm.
been there sometimes. Now I'm gonna tell y'all another one that has really been helping me to shake shit because you will find yourself resenting people and resenting certain situations because you feel like it just always takes you out of the headspace that you want to be in. And I'm saying, fuck that. Like, go in there and be like, this is the headspace that I'm gonna be in today. And ain't nobody gonna knock me off my shit. I'm serious. Like if you don't have that kind of attitude about it, you just gonna be like this all day, every day. I'm gonna give y'all another example. When I go into certain settings, um, and like I have dealt with being judged and perceived by people in a way that's really totally opposite of who I am. But sometimes you can be judged so hard, and depending on who it is, it can kind of stick to you. And you kind of start to view yourself through the perception of someone else, and you kind of start to forget which perception is you and which perception is just a perception that's a reflection of somebody else. So this could be your mama, this could be your dad. They could tell you was stupid. They could tell you weren't shit. You was gonna be like your ragged ass mama, your sorry ass dad. I mean, we heard it all. Let's be real about that. And so, like now that we're purging this stuff, because in order for us to anchor this energy so that the new earth can begin to take form, we're gonna have to process this stuff through a different filter. Okay, so I found it really interesting that now they have all of these different filters that you can use, on your social media and stuff, because you can always look on the outside of the world as within, so
This is
without.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So like literally, if this has missed you, pull a point from the external of what you're observing. So if they're developing more and more filters, right? Filters that remove wrinkles, filters that make you look skinny, like that means that you have the same ability with your mind's eye to change the filters in which you perceive situations. So now, when I would go places where I knew I was going to have to deal with people who had a really negative view of me, maybe didn't like what I'm doing, and the person that I am now had a problem with it, I would get tense. I would kind of feel anxious. I would find myself rehearsing what I was going to say to them, how I was going to say it. It was crazy. I was all in my head and not in my heart. And then one day it hit me, and I was like, "Fuck that!" Like, no, I'm not gonna go in here and let my vibration be manipulated by somebody that I know consciousness is lower than mine. If I let somebody with a lower consciousness than mine manipulate me, then there's a lesson in that for me. So if that happens, there's a lesson in it. I'm not gonna get triggered and go into the usual cycle of unhealthy, toxic thoughts that I usually do. So I go in and I'll be like, no, this is the energy I'm anchoring. This is what I'm gonna hold. Like you kind of gotta get an attitude about it.
Exactly.
And you gotta be for real. You gotta be like,
But
when
you
I
got to
walk
be
up
on
in here,
guard.
so like determine how you gonna be. So you could walk in, and I mean it could be just pure chaos. You visualize your sphere, your morphogenic field, right? Whatever color
Put that
resonates
rainbow.
with you.
Put the rainbow.
Put it around. Put the rainbow around you.
Yeah.
Fire that shit up. And just be like, this is what Mother Earth is doing right now. Mother Earth is dealing with so much. Like if Mother Earth allowed her vibration to be moved by every external thing, like we would have been extinct. So like this is why breathing deeper with your stomach, catching yourself and doing that will keep you anchored in her. So
Breathe from your root.
yeah, breathing from your root. So just use different filters. It might switch up from person to person, place to place. You may have a filter for work and a filter for your family. You may have a filter for when it's just you, Like that's being multidimensional, and that's anchoring new earth energy. Instead of just saying shit one way all the time,
That's right.
you create your own filters.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
So just want to chime in and say thank y'all for y'all donations
Definitely.
and y'all support. Like it really has been helping us. We've been able to just to jump in on that because I could just go and go and go. But we've been able to procure for you incredible crystals, rare merlinite that I found from someone in Madagascar. And like when I saw it was the real deal, I didn't even care how much it cost. So, just know that we make a lot of big sacrifices to
We love you
bring
too.
y'all information and tools that can benefit you.
Definitely.
And it is your donations, it is your support, it is your encouragement, your emails that help us to do that. So I just want to say thank you because
Y'all help us to be able to do.
yeah, we can't do this by
Yeah.
ourselves too much, you know? So I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that take the time to think of us in that way and pay it
Appreciate it.
forward.
That's right.
Yeah, and because of our integrity, it is our utmost, utmost respect to give back, to bring information that actually can assist you in your spiritual journey on this planet, especially in a time where with these two earths happening, what I see happening is a lot of people are trying to dress their ego up as their higher self. And they're trying to pass it off to people as if they have all their shit together and you don't. So you need to follow me. You need to get in my class. You need to join me. You need to do all of this. Sign up for my little newsletter. You need to buy my products, get my services because yeah, I am the one. And I've been seeing this a lot. And like it's just when it's something inauthentic about it, I can't always put words with it, but it's just something I feel, and I don't want. Again, I'm being sensitive to my spiritual hygiene, so it's like I don't want to invite that into my reality. But that's another filter. So like it's no coincidence we're needing air filters now. Like we got two air purifiers in the house. We're just in a time now where you got to do that. Purify your breath, right? Purify your air, purify your breath, and use your filters to filter out the impurities of these experiences. This is what we agreed to all be here to do. And if you're watching us now, that means that you are more than capable of doing everything that you need to do to change your life.
Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all. Thank
Yeah.
y'all. I think that
Oh, okay. Yeah.
integrity is displayed.
Mm,
Guys.
that's
That's
beautiful.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
integrity, it's like real integrity, not false morality, not again, people are playing dress up and dressing their ego up as their higher self. Like it's it's really hard sometimes to see this, but if you just start tuning yourself, remember me saying this, you will pick up on it and just listen to those nudges that you get, those small, still, quiet voices that you get, and just be aware that anybody that you connect your energy to, you're gonna manifest very similar manifestations. I say thank you. I love chocolate rose. Every time I see that, it makes me want to eat a chocolate rose.
Thank you, fitness alchemist. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm The Walking Dead, absolutely. So just
Like we
choose. You choose. You are a sovereign being. Like we're not helpless. We choose.
yeah.
We choose. When we be authentic to how we feel, it may not always be perfect. It may not always be love and light. But when you have attached yourself to an energy of I am here for the benefit of this world, like even your low vibration is necessary, and it's not this all low vibrations aren't bad or negative or harmful. Some low vibrations are necessary. I mean, Mother Earth is fighting back with this whole geoengineering shit. She doing all kinds of stuff to fight back. So with a lot of the weather wars that's happening, like she caught up right in the middle of this. And so I anchor in her energy and connect with her. I can see when she's putting the electromagnetic shields up, maybe the sun is getting ready to have some hot spots flare off, like Mother Earth. She's not trying to kill the sun. She's just like, okay, let me put up a little bit more protection. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. But we don't even have any idea how sentient everything is that's up under our feet right now. That deep intelligence.
We are so connected to nature. Yes, yes, we are. We are.
In the
We
new
are a part of
earth,
it.
there
You
is
know what
no
I'm saying? We are.
separation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's our relationship to how we engage ourselves with nature, and one another. You know what I'm saying? If I was gonna say, we've been fucking up and getting shit wrong for so long that we
yeah.
just got to the place to where we was like, you know what, it's about right now wrong. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Um, whether it was voluntary or not, you know what I'm saying? But I guess that comes with age and maturity at the
Yeah,
same time, to where you just have a desire
yeah,
that burns, and
yeah,
it's a desire that burns in me. It's a desire that burns in Cam. That where
yeah,
we working to right our wrongs. We working to be better, be the best versions of ourselves. And so a lot of shit just like we ain't got time for it. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? We don't give energy to it. You know.
Yeah, you really have to you really have to, and you really have to be gentle with yourself through this too, because again, like you
I
like having the low vibrational energy, sometimes like I have depressed days, and it's just like who the fuck said that you are not allowed to have a depressed day just because you've awakened, just because your consciousness is going higher, and you're it's like these shoulds and these non-communicated conversations that take place energetically, and then you begin perceiving your reflection through some shit that was broadcast to you from somebody who wasn't even in a place of being anchored in love. And so it's just being able to identify when it's happening. So you got to be gentle with yourself. And that's the lesson for us. Like, in order to anchor new earth energy, there is this level of gentleness that you have to have.
Just saying.
Um, I
Start.
recently had an experience that really, really made me feel some kind of way. And that experience was, how you feel like you should be better, and you feel like you should be better, like so bad, and some of that is coming from some of the people that you follow.
Mhm.
They are very careful about what they show you, right? So it's like their life just looks so fucking epic.
But I liked it though.
And yeah,
I
but
like
this is
that
this is
shit.
everything I
Yeah.
want, and it can be exciting, but then it reminds you of everything you
You
have
ain't
not succeeded
right,
at yet.
right. But I love it.
And it's like when you get in that place, you just have to be like, okay, I sense that there's a limitation here. Um, am I holding myself to a standard that's not even realistic? Am I holding myself to a standard that's not authentic to who I am? Even with your diet and things like that, like so many people, like a lot of us know the basic stuff and the benefits of eating certain things, but to each his own, and everybody is not the
Same.
same. And sometimes you go through seasons where you're vegetarian, seasons you're vegan, seasons that you're pescatarian, seasons that you just eat a little meat every now and again. You pray over it and make sure that you make it a whole sacred ceremony. And like for me, I went through all of the seasons, and Ernest did too. And now I just eat more intuitively. But like there's been such a strong
Actually
stigma.
cutting back our meal
Right,
portions aren't even the
exactly.
same.
Intuitively,
That's
our
a conscious
intuition is
living.
like
Yeah,
eat less. And so now, like, listen to that, whatever it is for you. So like when I go in the grocery store now, this is so crazy. But sometimes I can see both earths, and I can see the new earth where everything is plentiful and abundant, and I can see the old earth where the scarcity and the poverty and the famine is happening. And I'll have this moment in the store where, like, literally physically, the shelves are like empty. And it's just a lot of stuff that we used to buy, it's just not even coming in anymore. Companies are closing, you know, a lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of farmers have lost a lot of land. Bill Gates has bought a lot of land. A lot of land has been overtaken by the droughts, the wildfires. You know, you have the nanoparticles that's being sprayed, it's affecting everything. Like these things are all reality. But but you have to observe the current reality, but hold in your mind's eye the vision of the timeline you desire to be on, which is not a timeline of scarcity. That's our yard man. Y'all sorry. um, which is not a time of scarcity, which is not a time of poverty, which is like, I refuse to believe that there will be a time that we're not going to have any clean water to drink. That's just me holding a vibration, having a relationship with water, talking to my water, being appreciative for my water. Every time water hit my body, thank you. I'm giving gratitude, like, thank you. I'm so thankful for this water. I'm developing a relationship with water. So if the 3D physical earth does have a drought, I won't be impacted by it because I created a relationship with the water. I created the narrative that I desire, and that's what I'm putting into the blueprint of my morphogenic field by my belief systems and aligning it with my heart. That's not going to be our reality. At the same time, we probably got a whole living room full of jugs of water, and we ain't even got nowhere to put it. So this is like being multidimensional, where you can deal with reality, and okay, let me put some water up. And then you can also say, but this is the timeline that I choose to anchor myself in. That's the power of being multidimensional. Right. So yes, too much is given, much is required. And the more multidimensional we become, the more we're going to be required to be observant and to be able to respond in ways that benefit like the whole circle of life. And the circle of life is struggling to hang on right now because there's just been so much toxic chaos and madness that has been planted. Like the I don't know, like it's just the law of reciprocity. So you're gonna see it. But I'm telling y'all, this is how you survive the underworld as the old earth is in conflict with the new earth. So I hope this is helping y'all. So I felt today to pull some cards. Um, and like I said, back to the eating thing, if that resonates with you, then that message was for you to eat more intuitively because that's going to strengthen your relationship with yourself. That's going to strengthen your relationship with your temple. And it's also going to attune you to be able to hold higher frequencies of communication from the spirit realm. So eat intuitively. And maybe for you too, you've been feeling like you don't want to eat as much. Like I don't even like to feel full now. It's crazy. But right before I get to feeling full, something says that's enough. And usually it's like, no, I'm gonna eat till I'm full because I'll be right back in the kitchen in an hour.
Back, when we were definitely unconscious. Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought that's the only way you eat. You eat to get full. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
most people do. Most people think that way. Like, yeah, when you eat, you're eating to get full.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But guess what? As soon as you eat and you get full, then you lethargic.
Yeah.
And sleepy and everything else.
And it might be a solar flare. It might be a plasma beam coming in that moment, and you might miss it because your body is just too dense to be able to process it. And so sometimes there are these upgrades that we miss. It's just the reality of it. I want to get into a little bit of the metaphysics of the bifurcation, which is another word for this.
Two Earths. Yeah.
For the two earths is also called bifurcation. So this is when it's like we got eyes in the back of our head now. So like you're looking back, you're looking at your old life, the old you, the old earth, before the Mandela effect, stuff that you remember how it used to be, how it's not anymore. Car logos is different now. The words is different now. I mean, everything is different. And then so it's like you're experiencing two versions of your reality at one time. So yeah, so I wanted to get more into that, but I feel like I was being led to pull a card for the collective today, and I'm gonna tell you a couple of reasons why. Because it's some stuff that I see coming that I'm still trying to process, and I haven't spoke publicly about it yet. Um, but we're coming to a point where the madness that's been going on under the earth in the inner earth is spilling to the surface. The madness of what's been going on in space is also spilling to the planet. And so the way that I'm looking at laws that are being passed now, I see the cosmic war and I see the beings that are operating in the temples of the people that sit in certain high places. And the way that they're setting things up, they're looking thousands of years ahead from where we are now. And a lot of us can't even perceive tomorrow, you know? So, as an oracle, this happens to me, and I have these visions, and sometimes it throw me off. And sometimes I do struggle with my reality, like because I'm seeing so many things at one time. I'm seeing so many. There is infinite amounts of possibilities. So with that being said, like right now we have the wildfires. Right now we have flooding in Italy, flooding in Colorado, flooding in Mexico. We have the earthquakes. Like if you just go and look at natural disasters, just from the last few days since the new galactic year started, by the time you get to the seventh news clip or whatever, like it's overwhelming. And it's just like, wow, so much is happening. So with the solar flares and everything that's happening, um, like I gotta scream when I say, so there are certain people who have certain interdimensional beings who are giving them orders. And because they are operating in a bloodline lineage that has a contract with these beings, it may not always be because of the DNA. It could just be because they were going to get benefit something from it. Their ancestors made a deal, right, with these beings. And so this is what's happening. So these powers that rule the planet, so to speak. So when you see this battle of laws and stuff happening, like this is the intergalactic war taking place. So politics is really the intergalactic war, and humans are simply the mediums for the entities that cannot come into this dimension fully anchored the way they want to operate. So when you look at the weather wars, when you look at there is drought and there is more drought coming. There are lakes disappearing, the glaciers are disappearing, the polar bears are disappearing, the bees are disappearing. Like all of this stuff is facts. The trees are dying because the 5G and 4G is heating up the ionosphere so much with so much energy where Mother Earth is like battling with the air. You got all of the elements battling to try to contain some type of balance for life to keep going on the planet. But then you have these other people who are terraforming the planet
Yep.
for civilizations that's not even here yet. Like they're trying to get stuff ready for the entities that are seeking to come here and take over the planet because planet Earth is a very special planet.
Planet.
As messed up as it is very special and magical. And this is the whole meaning behind heaven will pass away. right? And so you got
The
people.
movie The Blackout
The
is a
movie The Blackout. Watch The
good
Blackout
example.
because it's a good example.
Yeah.
So you got people who think that they're living, and they're living hoping that when they die they go to heaven, right? And not even realizing that their own book says that heaven is going to pass away. So like, where do you go when you die if the heaven that you believe in has passed away? Like nobody has given them a calendar, so they don't know exactly what day heaven go pass away. So like, what if you died before? It's so much, and so it's chaotic. And so what happens is, depending on what you choose to believe in, that determines what your experience is. So saying that to say this, a lot of the wars, especially the water wars that I foresee coming. This is because the terraforming, what is necessary for us to thrive, kills these other beings that want to take our place, that want to inhabit the planet.
It's called Blackout.
Blackout. So one of the most important things that you can do, because I kept saying, I don't even know what to do. You want to use this charger?
I'm gonna plug it up. You go
Okay.
ahead.
I kept saying, I don't even know what to do. Like, what do I do with all this information? Like I don't know what to do. And so I'm just sitting and talking with my guides, and I'm just like, this is a little overwhelming. Like I see this coming, I see this happening, but how can I help? And my higher self was just like, keep working on you. Keep working on you being the point of attraction, and pay attention to the energetic blueprint that you leave throughout your day. So if I go to the post office, or if I go to Walgreens or something, like it don't matter where it is, I'll just start calling on love to anchor in that place, and calling on healing, and calling forth the energy of Mother Earth, like in this area, like Mother Earth, I know you're battling right now to sustain life, and I just call life. So this is just something that you can start doing as well. You want to try mine? Because it's full. Um, so yes, so my guides told me to pull a card. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna pull a card for the collective right now. Okay, so just hold on a second. But I need y'all to remember, yes, I went over all of the things that's happening in reality that can be overwhelming. But I also gave you messages to empower. I want you to focus on that. Focus on the empowerment. Focus on what is within your control, right? Allow yourself to process and discern what needs your attention and what doesn't. Some stuff you just need to trust the process to work through. Some stuff you need to be more assertive about it. So this is how we deal with this. So while they're waging war with what they spraying on us, like literally, I
They
can
been
feel this stuff like more and more each day, where it's almost like I feel like something wants to take over my mind and my body, and something wants to force me to feel a kind of way that I don't want to. Like I feel this shit, and you just have to be like, no, I'm choosing my own energy. No, I'm a sovereign being. I command whatever this is that's happening right now to stop. This cease right now. And this is the assertiveness that a lot of us have not had because of our conditioning, whether it's religion, narcissistic relationships, the way we were raised. Maybe we got our ass beat. I mean, for people who got whooped a lot, punished a lot, your ability to be assertive is definitely weak. For people who got
you have to
blamed for every
cultivate it.
damn thing, so you got to just practice being assertive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil. A lot of us are in that same place with you, Phil. That apple juice that they basically promised was going to help them, and now they're admitting
to not
that
take any accountability
that
for.
right, and now they're admitting, the head of the CDC, right, our own White House is admitting you're spreading it. You're a super spreader. And so now the people that took the apple juice are feeling some kind of way. And Michael Rappaport, he got a whole, like, he just been ranting on TikTok about it. Cause he's like, what the hell? Like, and I was just thinking to myself, like, this is the bifurcation madness. This is, are like, this is just what it is. And so it's really a really beautiful thing. I don't know what moved and forced them to come out and admit that if we gave you the juice, then you're probably spreading it. And there's something called shedding that happens when you put live viruses that edit your DNA by way of your mRNA and give you a whole different coding than what was there at first. Yeah, that has some side effects we didn't tell you about. Let us tell you about it now. What this is going to do, again, switch the filter. So if you happen to be the black sheep, if you happen to be the one crazy, weird one who's telling everybody not to get it, not to get it, don't get it, don't get it, and nobody listened to you, and a lot of people that you care about did, then again, you control your morphogenic field. You anchor yourself in love and compassion. You live from your heart as much as possible and trust the rest of the process because it is not our job to interfere with someone else's spiritual contract that they make by the decisions that they make. That is sacred, even if it is something that's harmful. It's still sacred because it's their process, and they use their free will as much as they could based on where they were. And now they have to reap the fruits of that.
Nah, they ain't do nothing to the to
Yeah.
the apple juice. They ain't do
Yeah.
nothing to that. That we know of.
Yeah.
But
We
nah,
just,
she calling me.
yeah, you know the apple in the Garden of Eden, and you weren't supposed to eat it. And so we just say the apple juice. Anytime they offering you something, you know, in the garden and they getting it to you for free and paying you to get it. So yeah, that's just how, you got to be real. Again,
Doing
you
all
got to use
kinds of stuff.
filters.
Yeah.
You got to even filter your conversation. Censorship is through the roof right now. Shadow banning, the purge. It's very real. People who are really speaking the truth,
That's right.
they getting purged and kicked off.
Telemarketers.
Exactly. So, but yes, we got to learn how to interact with these people. Okay. So if your star seed origin is Lyrian, Orion, Syrian, Pleiadian, Arcturus, you know, let's just say your galactic soul signature, right? It originated from those galaxies. Well, you have galactic information within you that is teaching you now through the simple things that happen. You just have to slow down and observe yourself. You just have to come out of ego, not take everything personal, breathe low, shake stuff off, you know, and just be like, okay, I just need to use a different filter right now and perceive this in a way that's from a high level of consciousness. So I just want to remind y'all that we all are star seeds, and a lot of us are hybrids. I resonate with being a hybrid. I resonate with Arcturus, but I also resonate with Venus. I had a lifetime on Venus, which is where the whole goddess energy come from. I've always been a goddess. I have always did little things like I got picked on in school because when I would drink, I would always have my pinky up. And it was something I never noticed. I didn't know it was a big deal. And I was like, why you drink with your pinky up? Like a snob or something. And it was just this manifestation of these lifetimes that I had. So it comes through in simple things. So just observing yourself and observing others, and not in a way that you're a victim. Because the one way you know that you feel like a victim is because you take shit personal. When you start taking stuff personal, it's because you're already in a vibration of victim consciousness. So everything that happens around you is going to feel personal to you. And once you start feeling like that, if you don't deal with it, you will literally attract people to do shit to you to make it feel like the shit is personal. That's just the way the universe works. This is the way the universe is teaching us how to use magnetism, how to use the electric energy that is being upgraded in our body. Like, this is how the universe is going to teach us. It's not going to be sweet. It's not going to be, it's just going to come through your day-to-day interactions. So, that's just what it is. And you kind of got to make peace. Make peace with your own limitations. Make peace with your weaknesses.
Okay, thank you.
I know so many people are offering. Oh, thank you, Ashe. Look at that number. May they return you 36 to 100-fold
Yes.
abundance
Yes.
to each of you for your attention and your donations to each of you. But so many people are offering solutions, and it's beautiful and it's great, but at the same time, it's overwhelming because a lot of us, we don't know which thing to stick with. So you just be all over the damn place, you know. And one day you ephod, the next day Kemet, and it's just all Kemet. Then you have a week just Bobby Hemmett, and then you have another week and it's Brother Panic, and then you have another week. It shifts. And it's like not having no judgment about yourself though, because you were really here. We were threw down in this bifurcation madness and we're trying to figure out what's what, you know? So let's see what guidance can be shared with us as a collective for today, for where we are heading, because there is much fear and there is much pain, much suffering, much chaos, much madness happening on the planet. What will be helpful? What will be the most beneficial for those of us that are in tune with this consciousness right now? Let's see. Self responsibility. Self responsibility. My guys, like take self responsibility. Stop saying you made me mad. You just say you did something and I chose to be mad as a result of that. That gives power back to you. But if you tell somebody they made you do something, you're saying you have more power than me. You have power to rule over my vibration. Like the awakening is like, no, 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 no. Self responsibility. You allowed yourself to match them in their vibration. You didn't have to. You gotta start telling people sometimes, honey, my heart goes out to you. I can't even be in that vibration right now. What I can do for you, I can pray for you, you know, and I definitely will petition for you or whatever it may be. And my heart is with you. And you can switch the conversation, end the conversation, walk away. Like it is your right to choose who is making investments in your energy. And if the conversation is making an investment in your energy that's not beneficial for you, then it's nothing wrong with you wanting to end that conversation. And I know for me, because I struggled so long with codependence, that was hard to do. And I would just sit and listen to people rant and complain about stuff. And I like the stuff they was talking about. Sometimes it could be like major stuff. Sometimes it could be really, really simple, basic stuff. It could be the same shit they always complain about, and I'm listening to it for the 10th year in a row. And I would just let them go and let them go and let them go because I feel like it was love. And then one day it was just like, uh, would you let somebody pour sewage water in your cup of water that you just made and prayed over? Is that sacred to you or not? And I'm like,
So you being
okay,
container to
yeah.
toxic.
So you choose what you contain,
Yeah.
and release feeling like you need people to be pleased with you. Right? To be happy, you do not need anybody to be pleased with you. You need to be pleased with you, and that's the lesson. Because you can be so pleased with yourself to where even when people come with that vibration, that shit just it's like oil and water. And I have found myself doing this, and and I'd be like, woo. In the past, I would have blank, but this time, as soon as I'm through with that conversation, whatever was going on, I'm through with it. I'm not carrying into the rest of my day, and just knowing how to do that. Yes. Okay, that's your responsibility. So be responsible for your vibration.
Self responsibility. That's so good.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So the first one that I pulled is come to life. Um, Come to life. This was one of the main ones that I pulled. What number is that?
43.
43. Okay. I'm going to read about this card to y'all. You are the most sacred of all sacred artworks. You are bringing yourself to life now, and this is how it must be. Of course, something being essential doesn't mean it will always be easy. You must support yourself and have courage during this process. Your monkey mind is not running the show. It might have a lot to say, and at times it seems very convincing, but it is not the one in charge. Your mind can inspire you with ideas. However, it is the real you that speaks through your rebellious, sacred heart and is living your life, not the monkey mind. The mind is not much more than a swirling cacophony of habitual reactions. Beneath habitual thoughts, there is a deep, sensual, creative, and energetic awakening happening to you. It is so far beyond what the mind is now capable of controlling. Others might not like it because it shakes things up. Coming to life tends to do that. However, it is happening now, and the only real choice you have to make is how to deal with it. Coming to life means feeling, and so many of us are afraid to feel because it wasn't safe to feel. It wasn't safe to feel when you grew up. It wasn't safe to feel in your past relationships. So many of us are not safe to feel. But coming to life means feeling. It might bring joy, but it could equally bring sadness, rage, or fear. Again, do not, there are these stigmas that I see in the conscious community that everybody got to be love and light. Your vibrations always got to be right. It's got to be positive. It's just like, it's religious. It's very religious. And so, I've just been noticing that. And when I'm tapping into that, it's like, no, I need to honor myself in this moment. However the fuck I'm feeling, I need to honor it. And I'm not going to put it out on nobody else. I can just go and be with myself and be fucking mad. I can just go by myself, and scream in the pillow. I can like sometimes we just need to feel what we're feeling and then again find some type of way to allow that feeling to process itself. Okay, so it don't just get stagnant in your body because trauma attracts trauma. So the more trauma that's stagnant in your body that you're not moving, you're not consciously deciding to move and change, you're going to attract more of that throughout your day. Okay, even if while you sleep on the astral realm, you will be attracting bullshit just because you didn't honor that emotion that came up. So you don't always have to be feeling great. You don't always have to be happy. You don't always have to be joyful. You just need to be able to have compassion for whatever the fuck you're feeling and know that it's all sacred. And when you do that, you can stay in a high frequency, right? Even though you're feeling these lower frequency emotions because you're choosing the energy that you carry and you're just watching yourself. You're just aware of what's coming up for you. You're not making a judgment call about it and saying, oh, because I'm angry right now, I'm in low vibrations. Like, how do you know that? You don't know that. So if you're still in your heart and you're angry and you're honoring that, that's sacred. That's high vibration. So you can still have these lower vibrational emotions and be holding a higher vibration in the blueprint of your energy. So feelings will come and go quite swiftly when allowed to flow. You might need to paint, write, enact a ritual, sing, or dance, shake that ass, shake them shoulders. Who was that made this shit up? The little shoulder.
Oh, I can't remember.
It was
Yeah,
somebody in
yeah,
Atlanta, I think. But
yeah.
I'm just thinking back on the
Shoulder
dances and
thing.
like, yeah, we was shaking off some stuff and didn't even know. Um, so yeah, you could do any of that. Your feelings. This is too. You're doing these things to help your feelings so that the energy can flow. This card is in perfect alignment with everything we talked about. Don't hold back. Create the space for yourself to do it. Sometimes it's the hardest part. Sometimes something as simple as getting a paintbrush and some paint and some water and a piece of paper. It's like it's in your mind, but like you just never do it. Or it's a lot of the stuff that needs to be done. You need to do laundry. The kids need this. I get that. But when you do get the opportunity, sometimes you have to make yourself be like, do this. You need this, do this. And for me, it's been doing the four corners. I just bust out when I'm trying to process the emotion. When this Negro right here that got on my last damn nerves, and I don't want to be reactionary because I want to be a creator at all times. If you're in reaction mode, you're not in creation mode. Remember we talked about that. So doing it's something about y'all know that old school dance four corners that everybody did on Soul Train. And it's something about doing that and this shit just move and I just give less and less fucks about whatever going on with each time and then you pop it harder, and then you pop it harder, that shit works. So try it out and see. But it blew my mind how much it helped me and I was just like, and when you think about four corners, like that's some metaphysical elemental shit. You know what I'm saying? You got the four elements, you got the four directions. So again, this is connecting your knowledge and your metaphysical mind with stuff that's from the old earth, and you're like rebirthing it and calling it to be something that's beneficial. Like you're creating. So you take a fucking dance move and have a whole metaphysical reason for doing it now. Like beautiful. We're here to co-create, y'all. We're alchemists. So, in the process, you are uncovering the artistry of the universal creator. You are honoring the sacredness of life by exploring it without restraint. And that includes the flow of your feelings. You don't have to do anything with them other than express it. You may want to analyze or you may not. It don't matter. What matters is that you are getting in touch with feeling. Because y'all, we've been dead. We've been dead for so long. We've been dead. Because that was the only way to cope was to be dead, was to not feel, to be numb. Like not giving too many fucks about what other people think don't mean that you numb. You still feel. You just are in control of what you feel. And yeah, that's a whole other conversation. That might be what we talk about the next show. Like how to do that in a way where it's really beneficial for you, because you can definitely get that shit wrong. Because the ego will come and hijack that, not giving too many fucks about what people think, and turn it into something else. And it ain't trying to. But again, that's the little chihuahua. Get your ass in the fight with some Rottweilers, and now you in the chihuahua got your ass tore up because you didn't put the chihuahua in its place and remind him, look, you little. I'm bigger than you. And we have to let ego know, I'm bigger than you. I need you to calm down and neutralize. Stop barking. You barking at dogs is bigger than you. Like this, no, it's not what we're doing. So it says what matters is that you are getting in touch with your feelings. Learn how to access your feelings allows you to learn how to access your intuition. Intuition is just feeling. And if your feeling has not been safe for you, work on healing your divine masculine energy so that you can learn ways to self soothe and cause yourself to feel safe so you can express your feelings. And this helps you to strengthen your relationship with your intuition, which I talked about. Creative inspiration and genuine internal guidance. These aspects flow from the same place and are often couched within your feelings in the form of emotions as well as physical sensations. The journey underneath the mind and into a sensual emotional connection with your feelings, emotions, and body is for a sacred purpose. It is part of your path. You are one of the sacred but powerful minority that have chosen to come into a body and live consciously within it. That may seem like it applies to everybody, but when you experience it for yourself, you will realize that this is actually rather rare. Yeah, here it is, like that rare stone. Man, there are plenty of bodies without a spirit really residing within to care for, love, and honor them as a sacred animal. Wow. Fortunately, this minority is powerful enough that it can keep human culture in balance, but only just. We need every single one of us that is capable to be aware of the task and move beyond the mind and into the body. Just what I've been saying. We got to move beyond the mind. Y'all got to move beyond the thoughts and begin separating those thoughts from your identity of who you are. It says, this is especially so if you have also drawn the oracle of the beyond the mind card. You may feel drawn to read the guidance of that oracle once you have completed this healing process. And so I will pull beyond the mind next, just because it mentioned it. Yeah. So to come into your sensuality, you will need to anchor your experiences. You may be blessed with relationships that are conscious enough to be interested in your journey in a constructive rather than controlling or undermining way. If so, talk, converse, share. If not, then you will need to be more resourceful in how you support yourself through your awakening process, at least until you attract some more conscious connections into your life. Remember, I was telling y'all, this is the whole two earth thing. You literally can start attracting new earth people into your life. Like it don't have to stay the same. At any point in time, you switch up your narrative, you switch up your experience and your reality. I was just talking about this. And this is why you'll go through the lane with a really sweet lady that might even give you ass something for free versus going through the lane where you have to deal with a bad attitude. So it says you can support your own process by scheduling time for yourself and keeping to it like you would the most important date with destiny. So get to writing in your journal. Do your dances. Shake that ass, y'all. Shake that ass. My higher self is funny as hell. She had me laughing because that's exactly how she be saying
Mhm.
it.
I'm gonna say this: a song when you first pulled this card,
Mhm.
what came to me was Sade's "The Sweetest Taboo."
Mm, that's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one. So paint your pictures, create your creations, be kind to your body, listen to it, and let it be alive. Stop trying to make yourself be dead. When you're around a lot of the living dead people, sometimes you'll find yourself acting like them. Like in the zombie movies, you know, and it's just like because it's like to survive. So I'm gonna act like I'm a zombie too, so y'all won't eat my ass up.
That's what's up.
But then you get to a point where you don't have to act like them anymore. You can just be so anchored in who you are and so certain of who you are, you're just unmovable by the dead. And they walk right past you.
And that's definitely a part of today, y'all.
Hmm.
Galactically, we're guided by death according to the galactic calendar.
See? So the message of this oracle is be alive. Don't imagine you can go back to sleep. You are too woke for that now. There is no falling back into old ways, no more old earth. If you do so, it will
That's
be
right.
short lived and it won't feel the same as it used to. And you may grieve this. You will certainly eventually celebrate it. You have crossed the threshold from an old way of being in an old life or old earth, and try as you might, you cannot return. It is better to let it go. Grieve if need be. Celebrate if needs be, or do both and move on into this moment. There's a time for grieving and there's a time for celebrating, and there's no judgment on either. You know, and this is the place where we are. This is where I see the separation happening in the conscious community. I still see yeah, all of this bifurcation madness happening, even in the conscious community. So there's another adventure awaiting you now. You need a deeper connection to your own instincts. This is how we're going to survive the underworld. You need a deeper connection to your own instincts, your own body, your own feelings and intuitions so that you can receive this new calling and you can trust in it too. Embrace it and it will embrace you.
I say.
Here's the healing process. And so this is something that you can do while you're having your meditation time or whatever. But you can just lie quietly and play some nice music or binaural beat that you love and allow it to move through your body as though the sound is pure energy and you are light as air. Let the sound actually feel good. Let your cells receive the sound energy. Feel the music rattle about in your body as if sound waves are making your cells vibrate because they are. Let there be life. Oh, that's huge. Get up and move if you wish. If you have emotion arising, be with it. But don't hold on to it. Be with it, but don't hold on to it. Because sometimes, I'm gonna be real with y'all, sometimes we hold on to negative shit because it's familiar. And because it's familiar, it's more comfortable. It's like that enemy, that devil that at least you can identify. It's like, well, I'd rather have an old devil than a new devil kind of thing. Catch yourself when you're doing that because sometimes we like sit in that dense energy just because it's what we're used to, what we've been trained to do. So just catch yourself and be like, oh, I've been sitting in this for too long. Let me let this go, you know? Um, so let it rise and let it fall as it will. Be in this process as long as it feels right for you. Feeling you have had enough indicates that you have completed the healing process for this oracle. You may wish to repeat this exercise daily for several weeks. If so, choose music that feels right for you each time. You can then see the difference this healing process has on your well being, your energy levels, and the ease in which you access your intuition and your feelings. Also, note the clarity in what you perceive. The clarity in what you perceive. Remember, everything that you're perceiving in your life, you're perceiving it through whatever filter that you have been choosing or not choosing and just stuck in. So, choose your filter, choose how you perceive things. It says you might be surprised at what a little music therapy consciously received can do for you. So that was the very first thing.
Yeah, yeah. That was that mystical? Shake it fast.
Shake it fast. Yeah,
Watch yourself. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And you gotta watch yourself, right? So
Mhm.
you can show
Yeah,
these
Nehemiah.
motherfuckers what you working with.
Yeah,
Cause I'm
yeah.
working with something you might not be working with. Let me school y'all in energy.
That's right.
And everybody can be upset with you. And they'll be like, what? Why you not mad about this? I'm like, this is not going to benefit me. This is an investment that is not going to have a return. So I'm not going to invest.
Hmm.
And then shake your ass. So beyond the mind, the heart beats. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our minds, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within. Yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is an endless vast spaciousness that restores and it connects us to something greater than us, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. The sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat.
Mm.
The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires and it energizes and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind. which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is a subterranean and most subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways and responding to what is before it even occurs in the physical world. Mm. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that what we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. The mind sees, plans, and strategizes. The heart feels, responds, senses, and intuits. When we walk the path of the heart, we must feel and respond rather than plan our way. It is a different way to live and create. It is closer to the earth and to the source of life itself. It is not for those who are lacking in courage and trust, but you are not one of those. You are being asked to trust your heart and drop into it. The mind is important, but it cannot supplant the heart. The role of the mind is to serve the truths of the heart. That is, to create the spacious chamber of receptiveness into which the sacred rhythm of your heartbeat can resound. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Deep within you, you know what to do and you know what is true. It matters not whether the mind and its plans seem to agree with your inner sense. Your willingness to trust your heart and to rebel against fear will serve you well. Let your heart lead you. Be sure of your faith and trust in what you feel. Your head and heart have been in conflict at times over the course of your life. This has brought you struggle and sometimes deep suffering. However, this oracle brings you the message that a truce will soon be declared and the appropriate outcome of the mind waving the white flag of surrender is imminent. Soon, if not already, you will finally be feeling that your heart is leading you. You will feel that your mind is learning to follow the guidance of your heart rather than trying to be out front, seeing and sorting everything out in advance in order to be safe. What a relief to let go of this old way. Your mind can become more relaxed and trusting. There will be a period of adjustment as you get used to living without so much foresight, but with more insight, wisdom, and energy in the present moment to create, create, create. If you are finding that you cannot plan or strategize as you once did, I know that's me in a lot of areas, or you feel that you know less than you have ever known about where you are heading or how you are supposed to get there, then this oracle comes as confirmation that these are healthy signs of a shift from your head to your heart. You are not proceeding in error. You are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. You are now in a position that is more powerful than ever because you are allowing yourself to be guided by your heart, a heart that beats in harmony with the heart of all existence. Your affairs are in accord with love, and no matter what may appear to be at times, all is unfolding according to that greater love, you included. Now, here's a healing process that you can use to manifest this card. Lie on your back comfortably with your hands on your heart and say, I love you. I trust you. You are beautiful and you are wise. You be in harmony with the greater plan of love. You are my guiding light. Now rest with your hands at your heart for several long, slow breaths or however long feels good. And when you are ready, just go back to your day or evening. Anytime you need to strengthen your connection to your heart's truth, drop into your heart awareness by lightly placing one or both of your hands on your chest over your heart and breathing.
Mm,
Ashe.
that it was so in alignment with everything.
Absolutely. It almost
You
seemed
didn't
like
even
we set the show up
you didn't pick that, but
to
you know
be.
you didn't. That wasn't the card that you picked.
Mm-mm.
You came
Yeah.
across that card through the other card
Hmm.
because the other card mentioned it. But we stated that today was a heart chakra day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that was so profound. And so we're getting so many synchronicities. Our donations are 3333. We can't make that up. You know what I'm
No.
saying? So like, yeah,
Yeah.
just so I know this has been as much of a uh, fresh
Yeah.
breath of fresh air
Yeah.
and a resolve for you,
Yeah.
and as it has been for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Um, a question was asked.
Hmm.
Goddess one asked if your partner may have taken have had some apple juice. Um, how does that affect intimacy? I would say, but just make it a practice of
Yeah.
detoxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a tough one, but I would say make it a practice of detoxing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely the top, would be the top recommendation. Um, Ankh Life Store on IG has a phenomenal detox.
This but print sun
Hmm.
god or something.
Um, so just check out Ankh Life Store. Sun God Mazani is the owner, and he has a detox for the apple juice. It's a heavy metal detox. So that would be the first thing that I would recommend.
Both.
Right.
If you can get
If
your
you
partner
can.
to, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Anchoring yourself in love again. And at some point, we're going to have to believe that our energy is more powerful than
Exactly,
the nanoparticles
exactly.
that are attempting to terraform our body, mind, and soul and planet. Um,
That's why they've been working so hard to try to shut all of the consciousness
mhm,
down and keep us from connecting and
mhm,
keep us from activating.
mhm.
And so
Absolutely.
we are more powerful than all of
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
absolutely. Remember that. So again, remember the two earth things. Like there's a water war coming. Put up some water, save some
Mm,
water, but then create the timeline, create the narrative, and practice that narrative and envision that narrative and feel it. Feel it. Okay.
mhm. I think you said
Um,
spirulina.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
feel.
one.
Yeah.
And then the dark crystal elixir that we have.
Oh yeah.
It is definitely very helpful for everything that we have discussed today. That right there, I posted videos on TikTok and Instagram where
Mhm.
you can see what it does. I only posted one video on YouTube, and there's a reason for that, but we're already getting some pushback and we're
Mhm.
getting some resistance. We go keep on moving through it.
That's right.
But we wanted to show you all the video footage for yourself because we can't even make claims to what it do. I wrote a whole blog about everything that was used to create it and make it and the process and the metaphysical benefits of that. Read that, check that out again. These products are made ritualistically with a lot of integrity, proper timing, proper planetary alignment, the proper deities to protect it, crystal grids, proper crystals, and Ernest makes the colloidal silver,
Everything's
which is the
strategic.
base. So it's very strategic. It took about 3 months of planning and putting together, and just to be able to hold a vibration and bring something to creation, into fruition, into this 3D world that was channeled to me. This was channeled to me. Yeah, so just go check that out because as soon as we posted it on IG, like something popped up and was like,
Some regulatory
yeah,
information popped up for some reason. Yeah.
basically, it was like basically indirectly
Haters.
saying this shit could be very
Harmful.
harmful
Hmm.
to you. And
Yeah.
like we weren't saying that this was to treat, you
Anything.
know, anything, right?
Very strategic about the words that was used and even posting it. So it was definitely
We're very
Yeah,
proud of their product.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right, Phil.
absolutely. We're very proud of that product. And again, this like I'm so excited for where it's heading and what I see. But this product has done phenomenal things already for everybody that's been using it. We will be going out of town for the Lionsgate portal, so be patient with us. If you place the order, we're going to make a shipment before we leave. We'll be gone for a week, and so we will pick up on the rest of the shipments once we return. And you'll probably see us again. We may share with you a little more about what we're doing for the Lionsgate portal, but we're gonna go to Mount Shasta. And this is that new earth shit right here, where it's just like you can't do what you have been doing to get the results that you desire. You got to do something different. And so, yeah, this is definitely challenging. I'm definitely experiencing the guardians of the threshold right now. I feel the fear, I feel the angst, I feel the anxiety of being out in the elements, and it's just so much that I'm not used to being away from civilization. Not really having phone reception. It's just all of it is nerve wracking to me, but at the same time, I know it's necessary, and so we don't want to be sitting here talking to y'all about things that we're not even willing to experience. And so this is coming to life, and trying something new. Yeah, but that Dark Crystal, just go and read it. I couldn't even say everything that I wanted to say. The Lions Gate is going to be August 8th. Yep, August 8th. Every year, August 8th. And this portal is definitely going to be a huge initiation for people who are desiring to go higher. So just know that any tests that may be coming up for you, these tests are coming up before the Lionsgate portal. Just because it's just like, okay, let's see where you at. This portal opens. What you gonna do with it? We gonna give it to you. What are you gonna do with it? Who are you gonna be on the other side of it? So set intentions. Hold your intentions. Just anchor yourself in love. Live more gracefully. Allow yourself to feel your feelings without judging them, and trust the process. And you'll come out the other side of the portal a better version of yourself.
Mm,
Absolutely.
it's your birthday, official Dolly P.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
powerful. You definitely got to tap in. Actually, last year, every year, we've always done a Lionsgate Portal episode of the show. All of those shows are still relevant and still are portal activations to anchor you into a higher consciousness. We did the heart chakra awakening, the compassion, awakening compassion. We gave exercises to use the last Lionsgate portal, and that can be found on our YouTube channel. So I highly recommend that you go back and watch that and use that exercise and do that so that you can tap into that energy.
Oh, that's
That's
what's
what's
up.
up. We got a lot of solar returns coming
Yeah,
up. That's
that's right.
beautiful. Yes. So yeah, so we're gonna get off here. We love y'all. Like we ended up on here way longer than expected. But this is just how much we appreciate and love y'all. And sometimes we don't know what we're gonna say when we get on here, what we're gonna bring. And again, it's just trusting the process and just allowing the heart to lead us and not having to be in our head and our mind so much.
That's right.
Check out the website as well. Check out the new products. This indigo gabbro, this merlinite stone, so powerful. I got it under my pillow, and my dreams have
Appreciate that
been
one
a
trip.
lot more
Yeah,
peaceful. I'm not getting attacked as
appreciate
much in my sleep. So yeah, so if that's resonates with you, go. I write a blog for every product that we
you.
feature
Thank
on
you,
our
Phil.
website. Go
Love you
check
too.
that out. If you need a reading, reach out to me. Like I said, I'm gonna be out of town for a week, but I always resume my readings in the order that I receive them, even depending on the date that you request that's available for you. So go do that. Readings with me is not gonna be like any other reading. I get real personal.
Mhm.
I get real personal, and I literally just jump into your life situation and express that through my higher self and give you a lot of stuff, a lot of gems.
Thank you, Fly
So
Chick.
yeah,
Yeah.
so check us out and read the testimonials and the reviews on the website. And if you want to write a testimonial, I know I had asked a few people to write one, and we just figured out that you couldn't do it because that part of the website needed to be reactivated. We have done that. So if you would like to write a review on a product or service, we would so appreciate it because it helps for the
Definitely.
other people awakening to kind of know what's what and who's who.
Trustworthy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and we're also go to
Absolutely.
Patreon.
Yes, we're on
You said what?
Patreon. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. Curry K, that's my baby right there. Yes, yes. So Patreon, we getting that up and going. Man, I'm gonna be like because I'm getting censored so much now, and I can't even channel the way I want to, and I'm having to try to change my words up so much. We're finding other ways to do that. And so if y'all want to sit there to tap into that, I do feel like in the next coming months, channeling is going to go to a whole other level. And I'm literally just going to be activating everybody to hear those channel messages. So that's one of the tiers on Patreon as well. We will send out an email once we get everything completed. We're going to send out an email with the link.
But it's live.
Okay.
But you know how they do.
Yeah, we'll send out an email with the link so that you won't even have to look for us. Yeah. All right. We got a lot of emails and stuff, Phil. I'm sure we did. Yeah. We'll check it. Yeah. Yes, but I'm so excited. Go and read about that dark crystal. Y'all, that dark crystal, that Let's Get Lucid elixir. I'm so humbled by tapping into what the hell I came here to do so that I can help other star seeds like go through their evolution. So humbled. I'm so grateful.
I swear I can give, I'll give my testimony since we've been, of course, we use everything we get. But yeah, it has been all of that. I've been feeling like I'm Superman. So,
yep.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? So much so, and then I kind of slowed back on smoking, and so I've really been feeling like hella charged. Yeah, yeah.
That's what's up. It's beautiful. I'm telling y'all, like when you get haters and it's a new product and you ain't even said nothing, and like that let that be a sign. So just go look at our Instagram post and y'all and see what they said about the dark crystal. And we didn't say nothing about none of that what they talking about. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna keep doing what we do. And y'all already know what we're gonna say. Y'all gonna say it with us, right?
The whole family.
Whole family. Man, your third eye has just been kissed. Peace. Peace out.
Peace. Yeah.